What Happened This Week podcast. Just two best friends chatting in the trailer about all the things you are thinking about. Because you never know with Kim and Tricia.
Straight out of Kim's office. Hey guys, so we are at Kim's house this week and we're recording in her at-home office, not at her work office. I guess we should probably say that. Your boss will be listening like, Kim's in the office? Like, we're all working from home and she's doing a podcast in the office?
I don't even have an office. Like,
That's true.
I don't really have a home, so I just kind of, my vehicle is my office.
That's true, because you do,
yeah. I hope we're not echoing in here. Does it feel like
I bet it is, but that's nothing else we can do about it.
I come in here and I sing the song Celine Dion.
And the echo off the walls,
so
like it's amazing.
So it makes me sound really good.
Your acoustics are good in here.
They are really good.
I imagine.
I was singing the other night. Taylor was so irritated with me. It was My Heart Goes On. I feel like I was really getting it.
You know what you just said that struck me is that 5 years from now, Taylor's going to be our best guest, and she's going to be a reoccurring guest, and she's just going to share stories of her childhood with you as her mother.
Seriously.
Like
you just
I just come
know.
out of my room and she's singing Celine Dion.
What is that? I mean, I definitely keep it entertaining for her. Never a dull moment,
Yeah, her stories are going to be she's going to be like a reoccurring guest, like, tell me a mom story.
Right.
And
she has such a unique or different personality than I do, so I hope that, I just wish she had she's got my brains and my looks.
Yeah, exactly.
But she didn't get my personality, so I would hope that I can share a little bit with her, so she'll take it and have that. But hey, it is what it is. What are you going to do?
Yes.
But the reason we're echoing is because I cleaned out this entire office space because I'm putting my house on the market.
Woohoo!
Well, I should say James's house.
Y'all's house.
It's our house. I have to keep
It's a marital asset now.
It is a
Good
marital
luck,
asset.
James.
That's right. That is right. That's right. So we're putting on the market tomorrow. So Shannon's going to be our realtor.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jason came with the post today.
Yes.
So we're going to put the post up. The guys are going to put the post up.
Yep.
And we get the lockbox and everything. It's kind of like,
scary, right?
it is scary. It is scary. And then we're, deciding on what we're going to do from there. Who knows if it's going to sell. I hope that it's going to sell. You just don't know with this whole Corona thing what's going to happen. So we'll find out. It's worth a gamble. It's kind of an odd time to sell a house, I think. But do I ever do anything
The right way or the normal
traditional
way?
way?
No.
Never.
But I think it's good for you and James as well. I mean, Jason and I, we moved into his house. Gavin and I moved into his house when we got together, and because my townhouse wasn't going to work for us because of the truck issue especially. But having our own, that's both of ours, I think it's nice. And I know other couples who had separate spaces and moved into one, and once they bought a whole nother space, a lot of the stuff that went along with it, the old house was gone.
Right.
Not that James has any of that, but you know what I mean.
No, and I that makes a lot of sense because me, I've not always been so committed to one particular opportunity in my life. So I feel like now it's going to concrete me a little bit more to making those financial decisions and being more smarter than being loosey-goosey.
Right.
So I feel like I'm growing up, and it only took me to get to 41, so.
And I think, with Jason's house, I felt like this wasn't the house I picked.
Right.
It was a great house. There was nothing wrong with it, and it was, he had done a remodel beautifully. It was gorgeous. Swimming pool was really nice. It's just, would that have been the house I would have picked had we been looking together? So I felt like that little bit of part of it was gone.
Right. Yeah. And I agree because we've been looking for 2 weeks. We just got back from town. I say town, leaving town, and it's kind of nice to what do you think? So having that, it's a different we're grown ups, and it's our first big decision being married, even though we've been married for 3 years. So it's kind of an interesting road to go down. But at least he respects what I like, and I respect what he likes, and we're on the same page. That's cool. So that's a good thing. I don't want to, but if there's something that I'm heartfelt on, and or he is too, then we just have to weigh out the pros and cons and go from there. However, he's pretty hell bent on us living in a trailer, the camper. So we may have a second studio.
That's it.
Coming if the house sells. So we may have to just if that's temporary, it is what it is until sacrifices that you make in order to get the big gain at the end. So
exactly. I have not had a car since January, so I mean,
that's right.
That's the sacrifice you're making. So.
And you have to make those grown-up sacrifices because there's always an end goal. So you got to keep your eye on the prize. I just have to keep myself in check and knowing that I can only bring 3 shirts and 3 shorts. And I have I just didn't even think. I didn't even dawn on me where I'm going to wash my clothes. I got to go to the laundromat.
Girl, you're the laundromat girl. Nope. You know what you're going to do? This is what you're going to do. Sundays, you're going to come record at my house, and you're going to bring your laundry.
That is totally it. I'll give you a laundry fee. I would rather wash my clothes. I'll bring my own laundry detergent, and I'll leave the extra. I'd rather wash them at your house, and I wash clothes a lot because I'm a crazy person. When it comes
I don't like clothes in my hamper.
I wonder if they have a wash house at this place. Oh my gosh.
I bet if you're going to an actual park, I'm sure they do.
It just dawned on me. Oh, geez. Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to.
Well, you know, like if our septic goes in on our property, y'all can park out there once the septic goes in.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all could be like
weekenders,
lot watchers, like watching the lot to make sure that nobody comes and steals construction materials or something.
And James and I will totally sport our headlamps and we'll walk the perimeter of the property every night and earn our keep.
We'll come back in the morning and be like a weird wall put up in a weird spot.
Or we'll have deer stands all over the property and just saying we had to set stage or climbers all over the place. That would be a fun time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. That's I might take you up on that offer depending on how long I'm staying in the camper. Who knows how that's going to happen. So by the time this hits, we'll have the house up for sale. So it'll be kind of interesting to kind of keep people posted on what that's going to look like.
Yeah, like first week. See how that goes. Because a lot of people they'll look for new listings. And so, it's usually like we got a lot of hits when we first listed.
Yeah, that's what
you'll see like people like viewing it like on Zillow or whatnot.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can see how many people have looked
viewed
at
it. You're like,
right.
Or how many people saved it. You're like, oh, what'd they like about it?
That's like me and my TikTok videos.
Exactly.
Like, you really like my house? Did you like my decor?
Can I get some feedback?
Yes. Can we do a one-on-one?
Can you comment?
What do you like about my decorating skills? Which I have to say, I have nothing, because just to set the stage. But it's funny because Shannon gave me a checklist of things that you check. Your faucets, just things that you should check. We replaced the faucet yesterday.
Oh, wow.
We are replacing the light above because it's cracked. So I'm taking this to heart. I even wrote on the extra lines, I wrote things in that I need to do. I'm like, trust me, when I'm sober and I'm full mind, I'm actually pretty good.
Well, you can create the list while you're sober and execute it when you're drunk.
Well, we got to deal with electricity. I don't know about James and I.
No, not that. But you're a good cleaner when you've been drinking. So
yes.
Guys like projects, like I got this.
I stayed up till midnight the other night cleaning. I wiped down everything, even my cabinets.
Yeah.
So speaking of, I guess, the weekend, so James and I decided Friday night, we went to his parents' house via golf cart. James is obsessed with his golf cart. I'm going to have to find him a golf cart community. I first think when we go look at these houses, where is James going to ride his golf cart?
Girl, I'm telling you, that other neighborhood we were just talking about, it would take quite a bit, but you could get out of there, like come over the bridge, the rental shop bridge, you come to my house down Citrus.
Oh, geez, I don't know if we would be able to last that long. We could try it. James on a good night, he would try it. He definitely would try that. What's funny is we decided to take a golf cart ride, come home, 9 o'clock at night, on the golf cart, no lights. Let's just say we saw a police officer. I quickly made an executive decision, he was driving, to make a turn. We hauled butt into the driveway. He shut the garage on me and left me outside by myself.
He was just trying to hide the evidence of the golf cart. You walked there, Kim. You walked home. If there's somebody asked,
oh my gosh,
officer, I just got here.
I know. I'm like, we're 41 years old. We really need to act our age.
Get it together.
Well,
you couldn't Uber. There's no Uber, so.
So then Shannon calls me yesterday or texts me yesterday and said, "Hey, we're coming over to take the photos before the storm rolls in because you want to get good photos." Meanwhile, James has the entire underneath the sink, every cleaning thing I ever had, which you can only imagine, and I'm hungover and I'm like sick, and I get this message from Shannon. I lost my mind. I'm screaming. Why does my house look like this? Yesterday was rough. Yesterday was a rough day. So today is a little bit better. So
Gotcha.
and you came here, so that's cool.
Yeah.
It's a change of scenery.
It is.
It is, yeah.
It's nice to get out of my house,
Yes, because we're still in quarantine.
So, I go to work, I guess. But we did go see my sister Lauren yesterday because they're going to doing some concrete work they want done. So Jason wanted to measure it out so his dad can price it out for them.
Oh, nice.
So it was nice to see them 6 feet away.
Yeah.
Hugs. And then my niece was there. She goes to FAU, so she's home now. And she was taking a test, and she comes out, she gives me a hug, and Lauren's like, she's social distancing. What are you doing?
Aw. Oh, it had been a while since she'd seen you.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's nice. It's nice to get out of the house.
Yeah, it was nice. So we just went down there, took measurements, came back home. We stopped by Charlie's and got takeout. It was really good.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, were they doing takeout on drinks, too?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Jason got like a, I don't know, some kind of craft draft beer on to go. You know, they put them in like the little rum runner, little like singles with the top on it. Yeah. I was like, how are we going to get a draft beer? Like,
that's
weird.
Awkward, yeah.
So, yeah, it was good. And Jason said, man, Charlie's is cheap when you're not sitting inside drinking.
You know, speaking of that, I have saved money.
I know.
Because you're not able to go out and, like, you know, go to dinner and then have the drinks and everything that goes along with it. I mean, I say I'm saving money. I don't necessarily believe that so much because I go to the grocery store and I spend more because I'm not really able to coupon right now because I'm just trying to buy whatever they got.
Survive, exactly.
You know what I mean? So I am, and I'm cooking more, which sucks, but it is what it is. That's my dog in the background.
Yeah.
It's Bella. She's trying to get into the house.
Do you think, since we're, speaking of being in your house on the podcast, we're going to get, like, train to go by or, like, the police sirens?
Or the crickets. Did you hear the crickets with the whole thing? I was like, those are crickets. Yeah, if we were sitting outside, it would be a little bit louder. Yes. But yeah, people have said the train was hilarious.
I thought the sirens were hilarious. James was like, is that at our house? Because
well, you know, Gavin showed me the scanner that you can pull up on your phone. So now, anytime I hear sirens, I go to there immediately. Like, what's going on in Hope Sound? And coming down my road. So it's very animated. That's why we want to live in the country, so we don't necessarily have to be exposed to that stuff. But I'm sure it comes to follow you.
Did I tell you that story about Jason and his dad going down the street to our property, and the entire road was covered with the police department and the ambulances?
No, what happened?
So they pull down the street, and it's a dirt road. It's a dead end. It goes nowhere. Dead ends into our property. And he goes down there, and they're like, what in the world? And so they're able to, like, get around the side, and there's a Ford Excursion upside down hanging in a tree.
What?
Yes, like, it's a heavy vehicle. Like, this is not like a Honda Civic sitting up there, right?
Right.
And they're like, oh, my gosh. And so Jason's dad, like, creeps down a little more, and there's, like, a fire rescue guy there, and he rolls the window down, and he's like, oh, my gosh, is everybody okay? Like, what happened? The guy's like, I don't know. We can't find the guy that was driving.
What if it was stolen or he was drunk?
Well, then Jason was like, Dad, like, do you have, like... They're going to go down to our property. It's 20 acres. It butts up to another much larger piece of property, a couple thousand acres from ours. So is there someone hiding?
Sure.
Somewhere around
Scary.
Yeah, you know, and so there wasn't anybody down there. But we come to find out what happened is, like, there's a lawn landscape company that goes plants, whatever, on the corner, I'll call it right now. But a farm were there. The guy said he heard, like, 2 cars come flying around the corner and then crash or whatever. Then only 1 car come out. I think they were, like, stolen. And I don't know if one was chasing the other, and the guy came out and they got him, and maybe the guy, like, I don't know, bad stuff though. I'm like, why would you turn on there? Like, there's no way out.
Right.
But yeah, never found the guy.
Well, they probably didn't know the area because they're probably not from there, and you got to think about it.
Dead end on the side. Yeah. Like, you at least could keep going to Indian Town or something, and then you end up going, like...
Yeah, but you know, you get some riffraff coming out of Miami, like 95 and stuff, and they're just kind of hoping to find a little stash spot. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't die. Like, they had to bring a wrecker in and yank that out of the tree.
Holy cow, that's crazy.
The people that lived there, their fence is still messed up from it.
Wow. That's insane. So
in the country, crazy things like that happen.
Will happen, yes. And even weirder things like that. So you just never know. That's for sure.
Yeah. Craziness.
So this week, we're going to talk about dating.
Woo.
One of my least favorite subjects, but it used to be my favorite.
Well, you're really good at it.
I was good at it. Yeah. I thought I was good at it. You know, for that short time that I got divorced, living on my own, living on the lam, you know.
Yes.
Not making the best decisions, you know.
Well, you know, I mean, you had to sow your oats, you know. I mean, like, you talk back to, like, the beginning of dating in high school. I mean, you dated your first husband.
Right.
And so, I mean, where do you go from there, you know? Like,
right.
And you dated him and married him, and then were together for a long time.
True. So I didn't have the opportunity to necessarily date around. So I sure as heck made up for it.
In your single life.
In my single life.
How long was it? Was it like a year, 2 years, a year and a half? Like from the time you got divorced to the time you met James?
I'd like to say it was probably a total of like 4 years.
Yeah, it's so hard to figure out time.
Well,
it was
Yeah, we separated, but I didn't get divorced for almost.
That's true.
For a long time.
I always think if we took a picture, me, you, and Deanne at your divorce. We went out for drinks for your divorce day, and so it pops up on my Facebook every once in a while. I'm like.
And then from a year from that is when I met James, if the dates align.
Okay.
But it took Joe and I about 3 years to get divorced because everything was slow with us. So
whatever.
That's what that was. Mm-hmm. But during that time frame,
have any arguments? It was
no.
I mean, people who meet in high school aren't the same people.
Yeah, I think we were just cheap, and neither one of us wanted to pay for
them
it.
Exactly. And there was nothing you were fighting over.
No, I gave him everything.
Yeah, and there's nothing to settle. You guys are great at co-parenting and things like that. So there wasn't like, okay, let's get this done. And neither one of you in a hurry to marry again.
No. So that's, I think, at that time, that's what took our sweet old time.
Yeah.
You know, that's for sure. But yeah, so I think whenever I was kind of like figuring out life and out there dating, and I got involved with, dating apps, as most people do at some point or another, or at least for entertaining purposes. But I definitely have had some dating horror stories. So I'm so very thankful for the man that I now know and love and am married to. But I have a new appreciation. I've also realized that no man's perfect.
No.
And they're going to have flaws. And it's just your tolerance level of what you're willing to accept. And I think that going through those dating times in my life, I felt that I kind of did a checklist of things that I didn't want.
Right, but did you feel like you accepted a lot of other things? Because yes,
did.
Everybody has flaws, but like with Jason, like he's so fantastic 99% of the time that like any flaw like is almost ridiculous, like for me to be upset about it, because he really is a genuinely nice person and treats me very well. So, but if he was like a 75% amazing and 25% flawed, I'm not so sure that would work.
No. And I think you're right. I think that's kind of what we later in life kind of learned that. Yes. I think going through that dating time in our lifespan, knowing and seeing what we didn't like,
right?
And knowing what not to look for.
Yeah, I mean, like I didn't like. I told you before this that I've never dated anyone that I didn't know before, or that I wasn't introduced by somebody else, like that they knew. So everyone I've ever dated, like, has been verified by somebody. So it wasn't like, you're not going to find me on a 2020 special that she went on a date with this guy and her family didn't know him. Like, everybody had been, like, vetted, essentially. Although the people who had introduced me, their judgment may not have been that good, but they had been vetted, you know. So I did not marry my high school sweetheart, but, I had a high school boyfriend. We met in high school, so I knew them. And then, like, the next boyfriend I met through a friend. And then next one's, like, through a family member. After that, somebody at work. And then it was through a friend. And then Jason, I knew because of Stuart. So
I feel like I think I could count yours on, like, 5 fingers. Oh my God! Mine are like I need yours fingers and my toes. I need to get my dog's fingers and toes.
These are like major relationships.
Yes.
Like, these are ones that like you like had major relationships.
Right.
And I never like. Oh wait, I forgot about Gavin's dad.
He's so that's 6.
But again, we went to high school together,
right?
And he lived across like the apartment hallway from me.
That's
or whatever.
right. That's right.
But so, and clearly I hadn't vetted that one very well. I got Gavin's, all that matters. So.
Well, that was when you were young. And,
I know. So, but, I don't know. I think that, for the most part, like, I was always, like, I would see the flaws right away. I just talked about, like, a 75-25. Like, most of my relationships before Jason, the flaws were much, like, this wasn't going to mesh, and I should have seen that very quickly.
Right.
But, oh, no, I'm going to fix everything. I'm the daughter of an alcoholic. So for me, it's always like, well, no, I can fix this.
Right.
Right. And sometimes I stay way too long.
And I think because we're just wanting, I think when you get in that relationship, you're in that honeymoon period, and you're your blinders are on. Other people can see it. You almost can feel it too. But you're just like, you know what? I'm going to fix this. I'm in it for the long haul. We'll get past this.
Exactly. 8 years later.
8 years later, not going to get past that. Things go awry, and my probably after getting divorced and then kind of playing on the dating sites, I found that I liked younger guys because I was 35. So I found myself on these apps I would do the age search from like 20 to 25. That's
God.
how.
That man is terrible.
I love a cute baby face. And funny enough, James has a baby face.
He does.
He has just the cutest baby
He
face.
does.
And I'm like, you know what? You're 41, but I think you're 25. And that's
His
okay.
dad has a baby face.
Yes. His
You know,
dad.
you can see that. Like, he looks a lot like
Yep.
his dad. And, like,
Yep.
you can see, like, when his mom posts, like, their wedding photo from, you know, on their anniversary. It
Yes.
looks just like James.
Yes.
And so, like, his dad still has
The
that
baby face. So it kind of, I brought what I liked then
yeah,
to now.
to now with a mature man.
Mature man, but I have to say that 20 to 25, I used to say I like to play with them, but I'd have to put them back on the shelf.
100. Put him back to bed. Oh,
Give them back to their mom.
Yes.
They just wanted to be taken care of.
Yes.
And, you know, for a short time, I was like, I'll take care of you, you know? But I just realized that at that age, they're 20, 25, they're working with a 15-year-old mentality.
Yeah.
At that age, I was like, whatever, let's have fun, let's do this.
That is so funny because mine was the opposite.
You've always liked the older. Yeah,
right?
that's
so
right.
before Jason, I always dated probably about 10 years older than myself.
That's right.
Always. It was just, you know, I was what I did. I don't know. It was just happened to be like the people I was introduced to or just, I don't know. And Jason's younger than I am.
That's right. We figured out by 3 years, not
3
10
and a
years.
half, not 10. Although, you know what I watched? I started watching the other night, that Love is Blind.
You did?
Yeah, so I'm not done. So don't.
Okay, I won't.
So they're just about to leave Mexico.
Okay.
Is where I'm at right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the one girl, Jessica.
Yes, the blonde.
The 34, who's at the 24.
24.
Man, she's crazy, right? Oh, well, her and there's a couple crazies on there. That I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
did they vet these people? Because the women are nuts, like certifiable, right?
Certifiable nuts.
Like the men, I'm like, they seem pretty like level. The one guy, I call him Bank of America because his name is Barnett.
Oh, yeah.
Barnett Bank used to, Bank of America bought Barnett
He's
Bank.
a cutie.
He is, but he is a dog.
He is a dirty dog.
And you could see it from day one, and that's why everyone was like, oh, because he's just like that guy that you they're gonna fix him.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
That, I definitely, the girls, they make the show almost, because they are so crazy.
There's like the one girl, what's the one that ends up at Bank of America?
Yeah, I know who you're talking
like
about.
every
She's got
time-
nice boobs.
Yeah, I mean, she's like,
They
she's
sit at attention. Like, I want to touch them.
I mean, they all are really attractive people, all of them, for the most part. I mean, like, there's some that are like, wow, and then there's some that are like, oh, she's cute, you know, but nobody's like, when they went to go meet, was like, nothing like, oh, God,
Over
you
the
know?
top, yeah.
But she is like, when that other girl comes in, that Jessica girl comes in, like, she's like crazy. She turns crazy, like, with Bank of America, like we just love each other. We're so sexual, like, and he's even as nuts as he is, he's kind of like, all right, stop, like,
Yeah.
back off.
Bring it back. You're at a 10. I need you at a 2.
Yeah, like,
Seriously.
that stays at home. Like, we're
Yeah.
out in public right now. Like,
Right.
even, like, he was, like...
It's a hot mess. But yeah, to see that age, the age
The
difference.
10 years, she's so freaked out. Like, she's the reason why, like, it's that way.
Because he's pretty mature for being 24.
Yeah,
he seems like he's got it
had
together.
it together. And I did feel bad for her in a sense because have you ever, like, because I'm such a nice person, like, and I don't mean, like, toot my own horn, like, in a relationship, like, I've probably stayed in some relationships too long because I didn't know how to end them.
Right.
And she was honest. Mm-hmm. Even as crazy as she was like, listen, not feeling this.
Right.
And how, like, you can't blame her for that.
Right,
You
no,
know,
at least
you gotta
she's
keep
honest.
going with this, keep going with this.
Right.
Like, she's trying to tell you, you know.
Yeah, and I think being at 34, I think that gives her an advantage because she's got more of the maturity side to recognize that. Well, I have to say, I wish that I would have recognized that during that short time that I was dating, as I like to say, not so good choices. I mean, there's probably a lot of words I could say. We could say felon because he was a felon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We met him at Ribfest? No, at...
Yes.
Was it
You were with me when I met
brought
him.
you. We went to this event together.
Oh, you're the reason.
I am. I'm sorry.
Oh, my Lanta.
I will say you've never introduced me to anybody.
No, because I don't public with my relatives.
No, but I mean, you've never,
Oh,
like,
I
a
thought you
man. You've never introduced a
No.
man to me. Like, hey, Tricia, I got a guy you need to meet.
I have high standards for you, and I've never found anyone for you except Jason.
Yeah.
And I didn't introduce you to him, but I have high standards. So lucky for you, you probably don't want my picks anyways, because I don't make the best choices. I didn't make the best choices. I have learned to make a better choice. But probably by far my worst dating story. You know, going back to like taking it in and or just putting up with stuff that you shouldn't put up with. It was 3 times that I continued to go back to this unhealthy relationship.
Right.
But probably out of all the stories that took place, this has to be by far the best. I believe there's a YouTube video
Well, you
out
called
there
me,
on
you're
this one.
like, Tricia, hey, listen, Kelly and I are going up. We got to go up into Panama City. She's coming with we got a trailer. We got to go up there. I was like, okay, like, what's the matter? You're like, it's bad. And I was like, all right, what happened? You're like, it's this guy. Like, I'm not going to say his name. And you're like, it's just bad. And I was like, all right, well, tell me. So tell me what you told me.
So I get a call on a Sunday afternoon from this person's employer who says to me, have you heard from him? And I said, funny you say that because no, I haven't. Usually he worked up there for the weekends, or he would work there a week on in. Mm-hmm. Come home on the weekends. He chose to stay there this weekend. Panama City is about 7 to 8 hours from us. It's in it's in a different time zone.
Yes.
Okay. So, but he's up there, and I had allowed him to take my vehicle. I had a truck, and it was the only thing I got from my divorce.
Right.
With my Black Beast, I loved her.
Yeah.
Black Beauty. And so I allowed him to take my vehicle. Then from there, he had his vehicle, and I used his. I let him use mine because it had less mileage, and I just thought he would be trusted to take that vehicle. So anyways, I get the call from the boss who says, have you heard from him? I said, no. He said, well, he's in jail. I'm like, what is he in jail for? He said, well, he was involved in a high-speed chase. A high-speed chase? On what? With what? Here's your truck. I said, what? He said, they spike stripped him twice. And it totaled. And he might have killed someone. Yeah. And I said, I couldn't even process this. Like, I still even thinking about the story gives me chills. And I just was like, and I hadn't gotten any phone calls from jail or anything like that. So I immediately wanted to try to locate my vehicle. So I did call the county jail, did find out who it was. It's a Sunday, so you don't get to see the courthouse records or the first appearance.
Like the affidavit. And
the affidavit.
Because, girl, we know how to find those.
Girl, I had to call every tow yard in Panama City to finally locate my truck.
Oh.
Luckily, he hadn't killed no one.
Right.
But my truck was sitting in a tow yard, and they charge you $100 a day, regardless of the situation. They don't care; they want their money. Mm-hmm. So I said, "Oh my God, I've got to get up there and get my vehicle." So that's when I called, and my sister. We had a trailer because we didn't know what the condition was, and nor would they tell me. They said, "Well, we can't tell you the condition of the vehicle. You can come up here and you can look at it, and then if you want to tow it, you have to pull it out of here and then put it on a trailer. You can't come in there and hook up on it because there's a liability."
Right.
Whatever. So I brought tires, I brought rims, and I brought a trailer because I didn't know what I was.
Well, so you were like, I don't know. They use like the strips, and I don't know. Like the car is totaled, and I'm like, oh my God. Like that's why you're like, I gotta go. I'm like, all right.
He went through 2 spike strips. Like normally I would think one would do it. So I get up there to Panama City. I see her, and the back of her looks great. The front gone. All 4 tires are shred. The side mirrors are ripped off, the bumper, the front, and when the tires hit the spike strips, it literally was beaten the body, so all the paint was gone, even on the sides of the vehicle. They had dog hair all in the vehicle, like dog hair, because they had the canine units because he was suspected to have drugs, which come to find out it was a drug, it was a controlled substance, but it wasn't a pain pill. So what had happened was, rather than staying at the hotel, him and his buddy decided to go out to have dinner and have a beer. They left. This is Panama City, like where the spring breakers go.
Right.
And apparently they went to leave and they bought a beer, like one of those coolers that you can buy a beer on the way out. I don't know why they would sell them on the way out of the bar. Maybe so you can walk the strip, maybe?
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay.
So they bought these 2 beers and the cop saw them. He proceeded to get into my truck. My headlight was out. So they gave him probable cause to pull him over. He decided he's going to floor it. In my truck. Went through the seats of Panama City. Got charged with endangering the lives of citizens in Panama City, fleeing and eluding. Because once they spike stripped him twice, they had to come get him out at gunpoint.
Oh my God!
They had FHP, police officers, a helicopter, all on this because there's this crazy man driving through Panama City in my truck
with out of town tags. Like,
with out of town tags.
Oh, could they trace him because it was still in?
It was yes.
Because it may have been like a confidential record.
It was a confidential record. It was. So they didn't know what they were dealing with. But they felt like it was something of some stature, of something, you know, something that somebody who's driving this vehicle that probably should know better than doing this, right? So meanwhile, he's calling me the whole time from jail, and I'm not taking the calls. Finally, I get to Panama City, and I'm like nervous. I've never had so much anxiety. We drove to my mother's in Tallahassee. We stayed the night there and then made our way there. But I was just like, I can't believe you did this. How could you do this? Girl, I took him back.
Well, he's gone now.
He's gone now. But and that was like strike 3.
Yeah.
Usually, I mean, and that was a pretty big strike.
Yes.
Because I actually, so come to find out, I think I even called you once I got the vehicle home. We had to pull it out of the tow yard because they wouldn't allow me to put the tires on it. We had to put 4 tires. We put all 4 tires on it. You should have seen me driving this truck home for 8 hours, thinking I was on a marked vehicle. This thing had just been involved in a high-speed chase, YouTube video. Like, I was freaking out thinking that somebody's going to pull me over.
Right.
You know, the whole time. And it was like $4,000 worth of damage. And because it was done in the commission of a felony, my insurance wouldn't cover it. And I gave him permission to use it. So, shame on me. And I think within a couple months, I got rid of that vehicle.
Right.
That's where I started my upside downness.
Yes, it is.
See, it still haunts me to this day. Bad choices will haunt you.
Exactly.
One day I'll get clean of that. But yeah, that was probably like one of my, you know, I knew it earlier on in the relationship. Right. But for whatever reason. And then that's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to at this. Find me a young one I can train. And then I had the one that lived with the roommates.
Yes.
Which I still can't. That was a very short-lived relationship. I never really met someone who was narcissistic. I don't feel like I ever have.
Right.
That person.
Yes.
Was.
Yes, and like, and for no reason at all.
None.
Nothing. No reason given. Like, wasn't successful.
None.
Like, wasn't nice.
None.
Terrible to your friends.
Right.
I think that was finally it. That was finally like the last straw. Like whenever he was like not nice to like everybody else. And never left his house.
None. He had anxiety. He wouldn't leave his house.
Yeah, but then was like a complete D. Like, I don't understand.
I think it was an insecurity thing going on.
Probably.
But I'm like, I can't believe I'm just staying in this guy's house all the time.
His
with his
parents' house.
He's like, hey, would you go to my room? Like, sure.
Right.
I felt like that show, Mom, where's the meatloaf? Was it Step Brothers or something? I forgot.
I mean, I live with my husband's parents.
Different situation. I mean, you didn't come into the relationship.
Like,
you
that's
didn't
what we
answer
got.
the door and say, these are my roommates,
Like,
okay?
I'm the one who convinced Jason that we needed to move in with his parents. I was like, no, we're going to move in with your parents. He's like, no. I was like, yes, we are. So, I mean, I guess that's better.
Well, you know, I always wondered in my dating life if I should have probably gave a caca, because I did probably make some bad choices, especially on these dating apps, because you can get catfish and you can be anybody can be anybody that they want to be behind.
Did you Tinder? Did you like Tinder and swipe?
Tinder wasn't a thing. Well, you know, I think it was coming on the scene as I was making the exit out, because I felt like I wasn't making good choices.
I'm glad Tinder then was not available for you, because Kim's like, oh, he's right here.
Boom. Well, you know, too, I also have to tell you is, you know, going back to you said that you had all of your picks were vetted and you knew them. I felt like I probably needed to get out of Martin County because everybody knew me or whatever.
Right.
So I opened up the scope from like, you know, 2 hours north to 2 hours south and out west. Just to see, you know, all makes and models, you know, to see, and I would not screen them, because I didn't always do a good job of screening them.
Well, I mean, their profile looked good.
But I have to say, I always had a role. So they came in with a phone number. So once I gave them proof that I allowed them to give my phone number, they came in as a phone number. They eventually got a nickname. They never were legit with me until I called them by their name on my phone. So I had, like, I always used to say,
I do remember that.
I had a baseball team.
Sitting by, like, the pool, you'd be like, oh, it's you get so weird. I don't even remember what they were. It was so long ago.
Well, one was a DJ, so his name was DJ. One was Bic, like the Bic shaver, because he needed to shave. What was the other ones I named? I named them like random names, just because, you know, they had Yummy. I had one named Yummy.
Yummy.
And actually, it still comes up in my phone. Like I have to delete, even though you delete your contacts in your Apple phone, why do they come back still?
They do?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've deleted Yummy many a times. And when you're searching for someone, it keeps coming up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it stays in your Sims card. I don't know what
Maybe
it is.
It's in your cloud or something?
It's probably in my cloud.
You gotta delete it from the cloud.
I gotta delete it from the cloud.
Oh, Yummy.
I'm not going back to Yummy.
No.
I don't even know what happened to Yummy. But that was kind of that was the fun time. Like, I remember the girls I worked with, and then Jean Marie mentioned day drinking mom. She's like, I got some stories from Kim. But they actually got a 6-pack of Michelob Ultra bottles, but then peeled off the labels and then put the names of all of my players.
Oh, your nicknames?
All my nicknames. So that was quite funny.
Yeah, because we used to do Sunday Fun Day by your apartment pool, us girls. Mm-hmm. And there would always be like, you on the phone. Kim the whole time on her phone, talking to somebody.
Always trying to hook up. Oh God. I'm so glad. It was so exhausting. You know, it was like, I'd have to shut my phone off, literally, because I would be blowing up all day, getting messages. And it's just like...
terrible problem to have. People are chasing you.
Well, yeah, but they never had met me at that point. A lot of this was just, you know, talking via text or whatever.
Right.
So I would very careful to never bring them to my place. Right. You know, met them in public settings or their parents' house. Right. You know, I never wanted to know where I lived, because you hear some horror stories.
Exactly.
You just never know. So I'm just glad that I got out of that lifestyle, because it was just such exhausting, especially, you know, being 35, 34. It was tough. 33, 34, 35, somewhere there. It's tough.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because you're putting it all out there. You want to make a go of it.
You are like newly divorced. You have a child.
Right. First and foremost, who was always my priority, you know, so I was always very cautious never to let her meet any of them. You know, except for one, but that was neither here. That was the third. That was a fourth strikeout guy. But you know, you think you're going to make this life with these people, and that's what you try to. So sometimes you stay in relationships, and because it looks great on picture, and then you realize for what they are.
Right.
You know what? You told me something your mom said a long time ago. What did she say? It takes 18 months to really
get to know somebody.
That's so
Anyone
true.
can hide from the truth. Like, they can hide who they are for about 18 months.
That's right. It's so true.
You know, I mean, and obviously people who are genuine, like, they're not hiding anything, so that you would have known them from, like, James and Jason. Right. You know, like, yeah, it took 18 months to, if anything was going to come out, would have come out by then, and nothing did. So it's the same person from day one to day 18 months. But
right.
It was so true. Like, if I had looked back at, like, taking her advice in other relationships. But then, like, Jason and I always say that, like, our past relationships were always placeholders. And they was holding the place until we could finally cross paths when we were ready to be with each other. Right. So if I hadn't been in that bad relationship and gotten out of it before that time period, and maybe I would have met somebody else and not been, Jason and I wouldn't have lined up.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
So
yeah.
There's always a placeholder.
There is. And
that's
I think
who they are, placeholders.
Yeah. And I think there's standards. I mean, I think as you get older, you have standards for what you're willing to accept and what not to accept. And I think you have to have those relationships in your past to know what your limitations are, or what your checklist is going to be, and what that looks like. And I think
it depends too on different like ways that you feel or how you were raised. Because I don't think that, like, I would hope Taylor, I would hope Reagan, like, when they go to date like men, like, this is unacceptable.
Absolutely.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they have great daddies,
right?
And so for them, like. Our relationships with our dads weren't
correct
like that. So, like, Dr. Phil one time said, every little girl's first love should be her dad. Mm-hmm. And then, therefore, whoever you fall in love with after that has to meet the standard of your daddy.
Right.
So you have great dads, then they hopefully won't fall into a pattern that you and I fell into.
It's true. It's really true. And they say, I think I read a statistic one time too, that girls that don't have relationships with their fathers, good relationship, they're 10 times as more to go down the bad relationship hole. And it makes so much sense. I mean, they say daddy issues, right? But the reality is your level of acceptance is your standards are a lot lower, right?
I mean, we've had daddy issues. Our daddy issues didn't involve crop tops and sleeping all over town, right? It's just we put up with unacceptable behavior longer than we should have.
Exactly. So
those
I think
our daddy issues.
Right, exactly. So I think it happens to everyone, and you know, it's while it's fun, it gets exhausting. I think out there dating.
I obviously, like, my marriage is great and sound, and you know, I plan to be married to Jason forever. Heaven forbid something ever happened to one of us. I couldn't imagine, like, doing that scene again. You know what?
Do you? That's it.
You know what? Can't come hang out with you and James?
Let's
okay,
do this.
like
Well, we'll have to just move into like a 55 and plus community.
Exactly.
And like we'll have bingo every night.
Exactly.
You're bound to meet somebody there.
No,
you know.
I'm good. I'm just gonna hang out and get like another dog or two or something and be good.
Just be the dog lady.
Exactly.
Then we have to worry about the whole trials and tribulations that you have to go through to get to know that person. Exactly. I think what's cute though when you see older people in their 80s and 90s, and they are just as dating and secret little hussies.
Them STDs in the nursing
villages.
homes.
And then the villages up north, they put colored loofahs on their golf carts, which indicates what they're into.
What?
Yes.
It's like the kids with the bracelets, like the old people with loofahs?
Yes, like, pineapples mean that you're a swinger.
Sweet.
So I'm thinking about putting one up.
That's
I'm gonna put what the hell.
Pineapples are welcoming, so that makes sense. We're welcoming another person in or other people in.
That's it. Yes, I figured I'd get a big old pineapple the doormat. They'll be like, "You're about to enter the dungeon."
Yeah. Do y'all sling? Like that commercial, the sling commercial?
Yes.
Like we sling.
That's exactly it. But I guess in the village they have loofahs that indicate different sexual preferences or sexual positions.
Do you think you get to that place in life where you're like, you know what? Who cares?
I'm gonna have every color of the rainbow.
I'm gonna try it all.
I don't care. I'll try anything, or at least like you think that I do. So when I come rolling through
there's that crazy
neighborhood, there comes the crazy lady. She'll do anything.
At that point, you sent James because he loves the golf cart. He has no idea what loofahs mean.
I will totally bring him to a golf cart community. I'll decorate his golf cart with loofahs, and he won't have a clue.
No, he won't know why. Be like, whatever.
And there goes Babyface. Here he comes again. Oh, it's funny, when we were looking for places, there's a community up. It's Vero Sebastian, but it's called Grant. I think it's like like a smaller town, I guess. Okay. And they have, like here you have bike share the road. They have golf carts share the road. That's signs. Nice. I was like, this is James' neighborhood. It's a kind of a busy road, so I don't know how I would feel about him being on a golf cart on like 60. But,
yeah, exactly.
That's kind of like I have to say to him, make sure, is this golf cart worthy?
Exactly.
Can you ride your golf cart? Because he is obsessed with his golf cart. He's such an old man. So I'll definitely have to decorate his
and never tell him what they mean.
Yeah.
You send James out to the lion's den with like some weird stuff on there. Some old man, another old man was like, hey. James like, hey, how's it going?
Like, hey, you want a Tito's? James like, sure, I'll come on over.
I like to play stranger.
James like, me too, let's play stranger. I can play Tito Stranger. Like he would, oh my God, I'd set him up. That would be hilarious. That would be too funny. Yeah. But definitely, dating is definitely a different world out there. And I think, we didn't have, even though we had social media.
It wasn't like this.
Nothing like
this. No way.
Nothing. I mean, you can meet people on TikTok. You can meet people, through Instagram. You can DM them. You can watch somebody. So it's way different.
100%.
And it's almost like, I think a lot of times people put out there into the universe about things that they really are not. So when you see somebody's profile, like, oh, they're worthy of dating.
Yeah.
And then the reality, it's all fake because they've got these background pictures. So I couldn't imagine. Because I'm nosy, I probably would be stalking their pages.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It probably would have been helpful to know that he lived with his parents.
Exactly.
I probably should have done some more research.
You probably got to the property appraiser, see who owns that house before you did that.
And you say your parents are who?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No.
Your roommates. Your roommates had the same name as you.
See, I didn't vet them properly.
You didn't give me enough info.
I didn't. I was kind of like doing it on the down low. I was just kind of doing my own thing over there on the dating apps. So it was kind of embarrassing. But it was fun at the same time.
Yeah.
Once I started getting into it, then I'd be like, you're not going to believe this one. It was definitely a good time.
Good time.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us this week on, hanging out with us and talking about dating and my craziness, because you just never know. I feel like as I get older, though, I'm getting a little bit tamer. No, not really.
No, you just found somebody to do crazy with. So
yeah, that's I bet my
You just told a story about your Friday night and being chasing down by the cops and being left outside.
Well, you know what?
To do it with.
I told James, I said, let's go on Match.com. You fill out a profile. I'll fill out a profile. Let's see if they match us together. Just for fun.
No, it's like eHarmony. That's the one that does all of that.
Does a little algorithm that tells you. So, but thanks, guys, for checking us out this week. And make sure to check us out on Day Drinking Moms. We just gave away a koozie to Tina. Whoop, whoop. And we're going to do another trivia question on Tuesday, so don't miss out. Thanks, guys.
Bye.